Hello everyone. Hi. How's it going this morning? How did you wake up feeling this morning? Today is day 17 of our journey toward 33 days to Eucharistic glory. Now, did you wake up this morning asking yourself, how am I going to be a sacrifice today? To whom am I going to sacrifice or make a sacrifice to? Today, Matthew invites us to reflect on what he considers the sacrifice of healing. Is sacrifice the answer, he says, or he asks? And it's very important for us to reflect on this beautiful question. Can sacrifice or being sacrificial be the answer? The answer to many questions, really. Problems in our world, the strifes in our families, the conflict taking place even in our very church. Can sacrifice be the answer? I love how he talks about this beautiful little town, this little city in Bosnia-Herzegovina, Široki Brijeh, where it contains just about 30,000 inhabitants and not a single recorded case of divorce in living memory. Matthew says that for centuries these people were persecuted for their Catholic faith. They suffered the invasions of Muslim Turks, the Nazi occupation and genocide, and more recently, they've suffered at the hands of communist atheists. So much suffering taking place in such a beautiful city. It makes you wonder, what could we possibly do? Well, therein lies the answer. All these things, these terrible atrocities, which stain, as he puts it, almost every page of their history books. What does that have to do with marriage? You see, on the day of one's wedding, the bride and groom bring a cross to the church. The priest blesses it and tells the couple, "You have found your cross." And it is a cross to be loved and to be carried, a cross not to be thrown away, but to be cherished. When it comes time to exchange the vows, the bride places her right hand on the cross, and the groom places his hand over hers. The priest wraps his stole around their hands and around the cross. After saying their vows, the bride and groom now, they don't kiss each other. When I do weddings, the bride and groom, they're so hustling and busy to do that part. Not sure how you'd prevent them from it. But they both kiss Jesus on the cross instead. Only then do they kiss each other. The ceremony is over now. The now married couple bring the cross, the crucifix, to their home and display it prominently. From that day on, they bring their hopes, dreams, struggles, worries, gratitude, and sorrows. And they lay them at the foot of the cross. When they have children, they present their children to Jesus on the cross. It becomes the centerpiece of their spiritual life as a couple and as a family. Every night before going to bed, the children kiss Jesus goodnight, just as their parents kissed him on the day they united their souls as one in marriage. How beautiful is that? Recognizing that the cross, which is the greatest form of sacrifice that our Lord could have shown us, could have done for us, it awarded us our salvation, going to the cross for us. The cross represents sacrifice, and in that sacrifice comes love. We recognize the love that Jesus has for us. Jesus sacrificed himself once and for all for us, but he would do it yet again if he had to. He continues to sacrifice himself when we take his body and blood for nothing, and we treat it as if it isn't anything of significance, anything of consequence. He sacrifices himself for us, waiting patiently that in offering himself, body and blood, soul and divinity, that we will turn to him eventually and offer ourselves as sacrifices to the other. It's important, dear friends, for us to consider, am I allowing, or am I offering myself as sacrifice? And to whom? To where? Beautifully, Matthew says, when Jesus gave up his life on the cross to save us, it was the ultimate act of love. This alone teaches us something about love at the foundational level. The ultimate act of love was an act of total sacrifice. He held nothing back. The ultimate act of love is to offer myself as sacrifice. You see, it isn't about, throwing yourself in front of a bus for another, or in front of a bullet, or so on. All wonderful acts of sacrifice. But it's growing each day, step by step, in making these small sacrifices for the other. It not only grows my ability to sacrifice greater and more as time goes by, but it increases my love. It increases my love for the other. And most importantly, it increases my faith. If we all come to make sacrifices for the other, recognizing that the cross that we bear as sacrifice is for the good of the other and the good of God, become just like these couples, not to divorce ourselves from each other, not to divorce our lives from Christ, but to grow deeper in love, to grow deeper in love with each other and with God, by making sacrifices, dear friends. Start small. Start with a little sacrifice, but start nonetheless, and allow for yourself to grow in making sacrifice and becoming sacrificial for each other and for Christ. That's how we grow love, dear friends. That's how we grow faith. That's how we grow each other. The virtue for today is kindness. Why don't we show a little bit of kindness, spread a little bit of kindness to each other today? If it's hard, then let that be your sacrifice. Be kind to each other today. Be caring. Be compassionate. Be merciful. Allow your kindness to increase by being kind to someone or to someone's today. Grow in sacrifice and grow in love. May God bless you as we continue our journey, and may He be with you always.